Today we are going to talk about folktales, fables, and fairy tales. What is a folktale? It is a story with no known author, and the story is passed down from one generation to the next. Different versions of the same folktales are told all over the world. There is a problem and solution. The characters are common people or animals. There is always a happy ending. Okay, there is always a rule of three. There are 3 characters, 3 events, and 3 tests that the character must overcome. In Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack had to climb the beanstalk 3 different times. The 3 little pigs, the big bad wolf, had to blow down 3 different houses. Characterization in folktales. The characters are usually flat, they are uncomplicated, and only change in their mindset. The hero is usually young, fair, kind, charitable, honorable, courageous, unselfish, and may possess some magical power. The setting in folktales. The place is described easily and briefly. An example would be in a cottage in the woods or in a magical kingdom. This is very vague and can be anywhere. The time is fantasy time, once upon a time, or a long time ago. There are some different types of folktales that we're going to talk about. Trickster tales. These are short, funny stories where the characters are usually animals. The trickster usually outwits someone to solve the problem. A classic is Anansi the Spider. Bugs Bunny is a modern trickster. He always outwits Elmer Fudd in order to escape capture or get what he wants. Another type of folktale is fables. They are short stories that teach a lesson. The main characters are animals with human characteristics. Some examples are The Lion and the Mouse. Aesop has a ton of different fables. The Ant and the Grasshopper. The Lion and the Mouse, which we already gave an example of, but I like this picture. The City Mouse and the Country Mouse. And of course, the Tortoise and the Hare. Another type of folktale is pourquoi. It is a French word and it means why. And a pourquoi folktale explains why something is the way it is. One of my favorites, which is a classic, is Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. I read that when I was in elementary school and I remember it. Okay, and here are some other examples of those. Another type of folktale is tall tales. And they are a folktale with unbelievable exaggerations told as if it were true and meant to be humorous. Some examples are Paul Bunyan and his Big Blue Ox Babe, Johnny Appleseed, John Henry, and Pecos Bill. And the last type of folktale we're going to talk about are fairy tales. These are probably the ones that you are most familiar with. It is a make-believe story that begins with once upon a time. It has magic or spells. Animals act like humans. There are princes and princesses. And of course, there would have to be castles or forests. A kind character is mistreated, and what comes to mind is Cinderella and Snow White. And then, of course, they end with happily ever after.